Hi, everyone. My name is Julie Saillant. I am from Motivation Addict. I am an animal communicator, and I am also a transformational, intuitive, empathic mindset teacher. And I help those who are equestrians connect with their horse's heart so that they can have a better connection with them. And I also help humans connect with sacred animal energy. So I am the connector that helps humans find their soul purpose and equestrians find their heart-to-heart communication with their horse. I was born this way. This is a special gift that I have, and I was always like this. I was speaking with horses when I was about 5 years old. I could be walking down the aisle and they would start talking with me. I spoke to my dog and my cats, and I've always treated them as if they were humans and speak to them just as if they are people. And what you probably do know already, if you've ever spoken to or listened to an animal communicator, is that all animals are sentient beings, but especially horses. They have their own unique personalities. Each one is different. Each one speaks differently, and as humans do, and they all have a vast language. The most important aspect of horses is they help heal humans. And the way that they do that is they can feel your electromagnetic field. They can feel your intentions, they can feel your energy, and they can feel you and your true being and your energy towards them. So any sort of positive or negative vibes that you're putting out in your electromagnetic field, they will feel. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned that I'd love to pass on to you before I get into the content is that horses know intuitively if you're being incongruent or congruent with them. And what I mean by that is there was a study done last year in 2018, and they took a bunch of horses and they put a picture in front of them of a smiling face. And behind that face, they would put a speaker and it would say, you know, you're a good boy, you're a great horse, I'm so happy that we're here together. And then they would also put the same smiling face and then an incongruent tape of a person saying, you know, you're a bad horse, you know, today's a terrible day, I'm so mad at you, this is awful. The horses knew when you were being congruent, happy face and a happy voice. Also, when the person was being incongruent, which was a happy face, but a nasty or a mean voice. And they looked at that picture 1.4 times longer, which tells us that they understand not only facial recognition, but what's behind the face, the emotions that we're sending out to them. So being a communicator, they have given me lots of lessons, and there are 3 things that I'd like to impart to you today that I hope will help you, even if you're not an equestrian. These are three important items that they want you to know. So the first point that they would like you to know is to be transparent with them. Please, please, please be transparent, even if you're afraid. So I will take myself as an example. I had a bad fall a couple of years ago, and horses, they know, as I mentioned, that your face, and if you're congruent, if you walk up to them and you've got a lot of anger, fear, or nervousness, but you look at them and say, oh my gosh, we're gonna have such a great day today, but you're shaking inside and you're nervous, that's what they're going to feel. And they're going to even look at you longer because you're presenting yourself incongruently. You're not offering yourself up truly as you are. What I always recommend is to be honest with them. This is what they want you to know. Please be transparent with us. Please tell me, and this is what I do with my horse, I'm nervous today. For some reason, I feel nervous, and I really need your help today, and I hope that you'll help me get through this. Many, many times, if you say this to them and communicate this to them, they will look at you and then they'll blow out a big breath. Blowing out that breath encourages you to blow out your breath, which is a calming signal from a horse telling you, I understand where you're coming from. I know what's happening inside of you because I could feel it before you even came towards me. And I appreciate that you're being transparent with me instead of trying to cover it up. And many times we can start off not feeling nervous, especially if you're a rider. You may feel great. You may be tacking up. Everything's going great until you lead your horse by the reins and you go out to the mounting block and you're about to step up, and then all of a sudden the nerves start and you get nervous. And when we are nervous, we clench up. We might grind our teeth a little bit. We would just intentionally close our hands a little bit more. These are all signals of I'm nervous, I'm not sure what to do here, and I don't want to convey this to the horse, but this is the worst thing you can do. So what I suggest again is, and the horse has suggested this to me, is for you to say, I'm nervous and I'm not sure why, but let's just do our best. I'm going to take a deep, calming breath. Let's take one together. And let's do our best. And at this point, you're going to physically relax, because when you take that deep, calming breath, that's what your body does. You're going to slow down, release your hands, unclench a little bit, and then let's get on the horse. Or if you're on your horse and you have a moment where you're nervous, just slow down, go to a walk and to a stop, and let's take another deep breath and calm down. And it's okay. They understand and they want to help you through this. But the only way to help you through is to be congruent and to say to them, I'm nervous today. Please help me. And they will give you the grace, just as I would give you the grace and you would give me if I came and said to you, I'm nervous as well. So that's point number one. So point number two is, please clue me in and tell me the plan. Horses are very smart animals. They have the brain of a 9-year-old child. They understand words. They understand movements from your body. For example, if I say move over, my horse will indeed move over. If you say back, he will indeed move backwards. So they're very smart beings. They understand your energy and they understand what your intentions are. But a lot of times we come to the barn as equestrians and we have a plan in mind. We want things to go smoothly. We want to have a great ride today, and we have a plan and a backup plan, as you should. But a lot of times we don't include our best friend and our partner, who's 50% of the game, the plan. We might know it, our trainers might know it, and you might say, okay, today I'm going into that ring and I'm going to try to do a perfect 20-meter circle at the trot. And I am going to extend. It's going to be great. I'm excited. This is our game plan. And, if all else fails, I'll have a backup plan of, we're going to bring out some cones and we're going to try to keep my horse very limber by doing some practicing and bending around those cones so that his poll and his neck are very relaxed. But we don't communicate this to our horse. We just tack him up, bring him out, and expect him to know exactly what we're going to do. And they don't. Remember, I always say this, today's horse is not yesterday's horse and is not tomorrow's horse. And what that means is they may be great today, but they may not remember what you did yesterday. And they may not remember what you did today, tomorrow. So the best way to have them give you everything that they have is to be in on the plan with you. So I always encourage you to explain your plan to them and say, today our plan is that we're going to go 20-meter circle. We're going to be working with our trainer at the working trot. We're going to be in the ring. And then if all else goes great, we'll go out for a little trail ride for fun. How does that sound to you? Now, you may not get an answer. You may get a big calming signal, meaning sounds good to me. You may get a verbal confirmation of, let's go. The eyes may close, and you may get a nod of the head. Sounds good to me. You may not get much, but I can guarantee you that you will have communicated what you're going to do. And there's another way to do this. Horses have an uncommon ability to, once you're bonded to them, that if you can visualize a picture in your mind, they will pick up on it. This has happened a million times over with myself and with other riders. And what you want to do is clue them in on the plan. So think of the plan in your mind step by step. First, I'm going to get on. Then we're going to do a little warm up. Then we're going to work at the trot in the 20-meter circle. And I'm going to do a little bit of bending and suppling up along the way. Think of it step by step in your mind as if you're already doing it. The horse will pick up on your mental cues, and then they will understand what it is that you're asking of them. You can also say things like, today we're going to bend together. Today we're going to warm up our bodies together. Now we're going to do a little jumping together. And it's going to be fun, it's going to be engaging, and it's going to be a great day. Always, always, no matter what you do, whether you tell them with your mouth or with your mind in visual pictures, make it positive and encouraging. And here's a big, big tip that I'd like to give everyone. Think of yourself as a battery. If you have a battery life right now and you feel about 80%, meaning you're running on all cylinders, you're feeling great, you're empowered, you're feeling amazing, that's a great time to ride and communicate your plan to your horse. If you are feeling 50 to 40% or less, I would ask you to get off your horse and not ride today, or to make it a fun day and maybe just go out for a walk on the trails or just walk around and enjoy your horse. Don't make it a heavy training day. And the reason I say this is because when you are in a lower vibration, they can sense it. When you're tired and frustration sets in, they can sense that as well. And that's a lot of the time when people get hurt. When I got hurt, I was probably at about 30%. It was a very hot day. I was tired. We were all done. And then my horse did a 180. I fell off and broke 6 ribs. If I'd probably been at 80 to 75% instead of 30%, I probably wouldn't have fallen off. So it wasn't anybody's fault. But when you're lower than 50%, I would really urge you to not make it a big training day. Make it more of a fun day, because we want this experience to be as fun as possible for you and your horse, and always end on a good note. Don't keep pushing through. Just, if you have a great day and you've just done everything you wanted to, end on a great note. Frustration is less, happiness is higher, and everybody's in a great mode for the day. So that's step number 2. That's my number 2 tip. And let's go into my number 3 tip. So for my number 3 tip today, I would love to have you know, straight from the horse's mouth, they would love it if you would please ask them permission for anything. I always recommend, when you greet your horse, remember, our horses can hear up to 3 miles away. They usually know the car that you drive when you pull in. But they know that you're there before you even close your car door and you move up to their stall door, or you go to get them outside when they're in the paddock. They know you're there. They can hear you, they can sense you, and they know your voice, and they understand that you're coming towards them. So it's not a surprise. But what would be nice would be if you walked up to their stall and you said, "May I come in?" Whenever I'm speaking to any animal, but especially horses, I always ask permission first. This is super important, because let's pretend that I was going to come and chat with you today. And let's just say that I arrived on your doorstep and I just said, "Hey, what's up?" And I walked right into your house. And even though you knew who I am and I'm very familiar to you, you may not understand, well, hey, why is she just walking in? Why is she not asking, "May I come in?" or "How are you today?" A little bit of a greeting might be nice. It's the same with horses. Because remember, horses have good days and off days. Their personality is such, just as humans, that it's very faceted and it's very large and it's all encompassing. They have good days emotionally and bad days emotionally. Maybe they had a tough day. Maybe they're a little bit hurting from arthritis and a storm's coming. It could be anything. Maybe you worked them really hard yesterday and today they're kind of in recuperation mode. So even though I've had my horse for 13 years, I always ask, "May I come in your stall today?" You're 99% of the time going to get a yes. They want to help us. They're here for us, and they're healing beings. I mean, that's what they do. That's their best characteristic. They heal us. They love us. They want to help us. But by asking for permission, you're giving them ground to give them that access to, yes, you may talk to me. Yes, come on into my stall. And remember, their stall and their paddock area is their sanctuary. That is where They are supposed to be the happiest, the most fulfilled. It's where they can just be themselves and hang out. It's their safe space. So by you entering, and remember, I'm assuming that you're in a great space mentally. You're prepared, you're happy, you've cleared away all the clutter, you're not bringing the chaos and the storm with you. You're not frustrated by the person that cut you off in the car half an hour ago. You're happy. But let's pretend you aren't. Let's pretend that you had a bad day at work. You fought with your spouse. Your kids aren't doing things right. You're just having a bad day. And all of a sudden, you've got all this stuff swirling around you, and you're coming to them and going, let's go. I'm going to take you out for a ride. And they're like, okay. Well, how would you feel if I said that? And I came to you, to your house, like, yeah, okay, I'm coming in. Like, let's just, let's chat or whatever. And I didn't say, hey, can I come in today? Or I have a lot going on. Would it be okay if I came in? You're giving them and yourself the opportunity to breathe, to have that calmness come in. And by asking permission, it opens the doors to communication. And that's what you want with any animal, but especially with horses. They are so smart and they're so healing, and they help humans so much by their calm demeanor and their calming signals that they send to us. But the only way that they can do that is if we ask for permission. Because remember, when you're asking for permission to either A, come towards them and work with them, or B, take them out and do a lesson with them, you're getting the permission back. When they say yes, you're getting the yes back. So you're giving your yes that, yes, I'd love to work with you today. Thank you for asking me permission. And myself as the human, I'm moving into your space, huge, both electromagnetically and wherever they are, in their paddock or in their stall, physically, and then emotionally. So you're hitting them on 3 different levels. Asking for permission just makes sense. A funny story, I wrote a blog post about this, and one of the women emailed me, and she said, you know what? She said, I tried it and it worked tremendously. Her horse was nervous. And by asking if she could have permission to come into the stall and then to work with the horse immediately calmed down, which I've seen a million times. Oh, okay. Phew. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. That's exactly how her horse responded. Because remember, when you're going towards them to either work with them or even just to talk with them, they don't know your frame of mind. They don't know how you're feeling until you're up close and personal with them. So by asking permission, it gives you both the benefit of the doubt to meet on common ground, both physically, both emotionally, and both in your electromagnetic field. So I hope that all of these 3 tips have helped you. There are so many more, but at least this sets the stage for you. My name is Julie Saillant. I am an animal communicator. I love talking with dogs, horses, but especially the equines are my favorite. Obviously, you can see my horse Zeus behind me. He's a love bug, Tennessee Walker. But I love chatting with animals. I'm an especially intuitive, empathic mindset transformational teacher, and I help my clients with their heart-to-heart connection with their horses or with themselves, but mostly with their horses, so that they can have that connection that they've been dreaming of, and they can understand how their horses are helping them and how they can help their horses in the long run with calming signals by asking permission, by being prepared, by not bringing the storm with them, and cluing them in on what it is that you're trying to do with them and what you'd like to accomplish. You can reach me at motivation-addict.com, and I have a YouTube as well and many podcasts. I hope you enjoyed this segment. And again, it's Julie Saillant at motivation-addict.com.